We have reached out to Amber Heard and her attorneys, and are not commenting at this time, as you might expect.
I think there's a saying that goes, liars are always afraid. Well, whether or not that is true, Amber has just proven to us once again that she is totally done for. I know you've probably heard the news about Camille's interview on CBS, but what you may not have heard is that Amber Heard and her team were actually invited to the show, just like Depp's team, but in their case, they turned it down. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is yet another indication that these people have absolutely no idea whatsoever about what they're doing. But I won't just be making wild accusations. I'll draw you a timeline so you can see it yourself. Ordinarily, at least based on past events, Amber's team have literally jumped on every single opportunity they had to get in front of the media, just so they can change the story. But it seems the fact that Camille was going to be part of this interview made all the difference in this case, because the host of said CBS show revealed that they didn't only want them to have a conversation on how things have become since the trial, but they actually wanted to talk about the impending appeal that Amber just officially filed. And according to the host, this was the reply from them.
Of us under 40 years old, which is unique for a case of this magnitude. This case, I think, called for a younger team.
Now, the reason this is such a big deal right now is that it is literally in the wake of their appeal. This same appeal they had been talking about since Amber lost the case. In fact, what makes all of this even more interesting is that Amber's lawyer, Elaine, actually went on this same show only hours after the verdict was passed in Johnny's favor way back in June.
Elaine, how is she today? What is her next move?
She's right. Well, her next move is appeal.
This was the reaction from Amber's side right after the trial, and they thought they had a shot at changing the narrative. And as you heard her say, they already figured their next move was appeal. But now that it is so close, these people have decided to keep quiet about the whole thing. And that wasn't even the only time they had brought up the appeal in mere hours after the case, as Elaine actually spoke about it in a different interview the same day as the verdict.
Does your client want to appeal?
Oh, absolutely. And she has some excellent grounds for it. We even had tried to get the UK judgment in to dismiss his case because he already had his shot.
As you just saw, Elaine seemed pretty confident in her words at the time, as she literally just said their ingenious plan was to bring the UK judgment into the appeal. But this is actually one of the least smartest things she said, mainly because Judge Vasquez had repeatedly mentioned that the UK case was completely separate from this, because it is an entirely different country and by extension, a different legal system, and you would ordinarily expect a lawyer with as much experience as Elaine to know this, but she just keeps surprising us, just like she did in court when she kept embarrassing herself and her team.
I need 15 minutes here, though you're welcome to speculate. I could say the same thing by taking Amber Heard as a client for you.
A little argumentative, don't you think?
Oh, hardly.
Remember, what makes this worse is that she was actually supposed to be cross-examining the person, but still managed to wreck that. Now, putting all of these details about Elaine into consideration, I guess we can say it's a little understandable that they would rather avoid interviews than just create yet another joke for social media. And even though Amber's side has now refused to talk about their plans for the appeal, a lot of fans online have been drawing their own conclusions about how things could end up when they get to court. Like this user who wrote, if Amber Heard is appealing and they have to find mistakes in the way the law was applied, won't it be reviewed that Elaine Bredehoff tried to mislead the jury about the meaning of actual malice, which could have affected their decision? I hope she gets that $2 million taken away. That's it for now. Bye.